Country Director, World Bank.
The participants at the dialogue to discuss new proposals for compulsory land acquisition included the German ambassador to Uganda, the country manager of the World Bank, academicians such as Professor Mahmoud Mamdani, representatives from human rights and civil society organizations, among others.
In regards to the consultations that the government is making it a win-win situation for both government and the people.
Among the new proposals for new amendments to facilitate government's compulsory land acquisition is the provision for a 5-member tribunal that will be headed by a judge who is responsible for handling compensation disputes.
Today, we are talking of creating another new tribunal. So the question is, what is that unique thing that will make this tribunal work as opposed to the other which failed?
In the keynote address, Professor Mahmoud Mamdani, who attributes all land complexities in Uganda to the 1900 agreement, provided a hint on compensating project-affected persons in kind rather than cash.
There are many examples of compensation in kind. Land for land in Australia, home for home in Canada and India, especially in places where there is sufficient crown land available to the state.
In tackling compensation challenges, Mamdani advised on how to deal with people who buy land after speculating on projects to be started in a particular area.
All land bought in anticipation of the announcement of a project by those in a position to access such information, or bought after the announcement of the project, also with the expectation of making a speculative gain, I suggest that all those who bought the land during a year or so before the project was announced be paid the sum at which they bought the land as just compensation.
Much as the Ministry of Lands has opened up discussion on the components of the new bill, some participants said the public was still suspicious of government's intentions.
The title alone is worrisome because when you say it is compulsory, which means that people do not have the power even to negotiate with the government on the land that they want to acquire.
And we have seen in many cases where government acquires land, probably removes a school which was being used by many people, it was a public good, and they hand over that piece of land to an investor who makes money and repatriates much of the profits and probably does not even pay taxes.
It has also been highlighted that there is a power disparity between government and the project-affected individuals. There are still questions on determining the compensation value for different types of land, which the discussants think are not answered by the bill. On the other hand, there are positives in the amended bill that were highlighted, for instance, paying project-affected persons before their land is taken, having the choice on whether to be compensated with cash or in kind, among others.